Welcome back to another episode of Gut Talk. We are wearing our merch, girls. It's a really, really amazing day to be alive.
And I just want to say that the wait was worth it. It was worth it because we didn't love the hats
One would
before.
say.
Like we liked them, we didn't love them. And the way that I pull for Miss Greenie every single time I get dressed, like I love a black and white outfit with a pop of color. Like I feel like that's really my style.
Yeah.
And one day this writing, instead of it being white on the green hat, will be orange, and then I will be absolutely complete. But Jenna and I had to make compromises as sisters do. So I didn't get my
We
way
did.
fully.
And if you've have listened to this before, I'm sorry, but the whole thing about these hats was that our previous truckers were way too tall. We were giving Abraham Lincoln, and I swear to you, every time I would be like, "Oh my God, this is atrocious." And I don't know why we just like didn't think to just get shorter hats. And
Which
so
is
we
just, it's kind of funny considering you wore it literally every day.
no,
Didn't
for a
you?
little while. No, I never wore it every single day.
Oh, okay.
I was
Maybe I'm
wearing it
wrong.
like a decent until I was like, "Oh my gosh, someone call me Jenna Lincoln because like this is a top hat." Anyway, I am so happy that we finally have our merch. Jill and I are figuring out how we're selling them, how we're going to pre-order. That will be up very, very soon. But before we continue, we are going to do a giveaway and it can
Mm.
start right now. And the giveaway is for podcast listeners only because you guys have truly been so amazing to us. We've been getting just a larger influx of DMs about how much you guys are loving the podcast, loving our honest chats, loving certain informational episodes. And it's just been, we feel the love. And, this has been going on. This is our 113th episode now. And so we've been through it when it comes to the podcast. It's a very challenging experience. So to be able to receive the love that we have so far, it just gives us that like urge to keep going and keep creating and producing for you guys. So to reward you guys, the one you just have to do one thing, and that is leave a rate and review on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And or no, I'm not going to say YouTube because YouTube's new and we're just Spotify and Apple.
But like while you're there, please do
Yeah,
YouTube.
if you want to just do YouTube too while you're at it. Um, that will enter you into a giveaway. We are giving away 3 hats of your choice. You can pick your color too when we save you win. And if you have already given us a rate and review and you're listening to this right now, because obviously another one you can't, screenshot it, DM it to us, and you will be entered as well. And that is how you win one of 3 hats, is
But
what we're
like
giving up.
that's only if you've done both. Like if you already did Apple, then just do Spotify, right?
Yeah, but some people don't have Spotify. So
Okay.
if
Do
you
what you
can't,
can.
just DM it to us and you will be entered and we will be giving it away. Keep updated on Instagram stories. We'll talk about it probably next week or the week after that on the podcast as well. But we are solidifying selling these very, very soon. So we're very excited. And last thing I'll say about them is Jill was gone. So welcome back, Jilly girl, to Texas. That
Thank
is
you.
partly why I did a solo episode last week. But I have been wearing this hat. My favorite hat is the solid trucker with brown on it. Jill likes the mesh in the back. So we both like our favorites are two different ones, which is cool. Um, I swear to you, I've never gotten stopped or complimented as much as I do with these hats. Jill even saw it when we were both wearing ours. We got stopped by a couple people. I've been getting stopped by men, which let's go, baby. Maybe I'll attract my man from that. I don't know why I said that.
You did. You attracted a father who was about 60 years old
My man.
who told
And
you who told you to literally DM his daughter to send her the link
to send the link, literally.
because he liked it so
And
much.
the last stories I'll tell is I was at this coffee shop the other day meeting my friend, and this man was just staring at me. And I was like, okay, I understand. Like, I was looking good that day, whatever. Complete joke. And I was like, why is he staring at me? And then, like, I look at him, I'm like, screw it. And he was like, your hat. I love your hat. My sister would love it. And so, like, I was like, oh my God, you got to follow us. Like, it's our new merch, yada, yada, yada. So I swear to you, we've been stopped like 6 or 7 times already, and we just got them. Anyway,
Also, I would like to say too, with the mesh ones, like I'm very picky when it comes to my hats. I don't want it to feel cheap or fake. And this one gives the sturdiness and like the heftiness where I think sometimes, especially when influencers or social media brands make hats, you get it and you're like, this will literally fly away when there's a breeze. And this one is not that case. So I just
it is
want
very lightweight, but it looks nice
it's
on.
quality. It is
Yes.
quality. Yes.
And
And
it's stitching. It's not a patch and it's not like, I don't know, like sticker
the it's not the
material.
iron on. We're not doing this in
Exactly.
our closets at
We're
nighttime.
full-blown stitching.
Yes.
So we're not someone in Austin, Texas is. Anyway, okay, so Jill has been gone for the past 10 days on her trip. Jill, I know right before this you partook in vaginal ozone therapy. So we're going to
I
do a
did.
little Jill vaginal health update. Give it to them.
So I am basically at the point now where I'm willing to try anything. And so if you use Evie, I want to first start there because I still feel like Evie is a really great tool for me. And the reason being is because I like to track my progress because we're really just trying to tip the scale on good and bad bacteria. Just as like a review summary, basically at a very, very, very high level, BV is just too much bad bacteria. The good bacteria is not winning. And I'm oversimplifying it, but like that's what it is, right? So we're trying to tip the scale. So I'm taking a new probiotic. Is it Cellcore? What's the brand, Jenna? I always forget it.
Megaspore.
Is it Megaspore probiotic? No,
Wait, why
that
am I
doesn't sound
blanking?
right.
Um,
I know I
Keep
take it every
going.
night, but okay. So I'm taking a new probiotic, and the reason being is because Jenna
Microbiome
has heard.
Labs.
Okay, it is the Microbiome Labs 4-in-1 probiotic. And the reason why I'm taking that one is because Jenna heard from a lot of her nutritionist friends that it's really good. You didn't hear that?
No, I sat in on a webinar with one of their people about how
Oh,
this
how
clinical
great it
studies about
is.
how amazing it is. Yeah. But
Okay, so
that's
she did
still
that, but then separately, I went to Alive and Well, which is like a health naturopathic type clinic in Austin because they also have like a smoothie shop in there and they have tons of supplements and it's near where I softball train anyway. I was just there for a little while. And I happened to ask the woman, they're all very knowledgeable and well trained on their supplements that they sell. And I asked her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, these have been flying off the shelves. This is actually the last bottle we have right now in stock. Everyone's saying how good they are." And I was like, "Ooh, give me, give me, give me." So, okay, so I'm doing that, right? But I really, really, really don't want to go back on medication if I don't have to. And if you have BV or reoccurring yeast infections, you'll get this. It's almost like I can feel it, like it's about to be there, but it never presents. Thank God, right? Like I feel like I've been clear actually for a few weeks. And the reason I feel that way, I've been using boric acid suppositories maybe once or twice a week, more out of like nerves than anything else. But I went to Alive and Well because they have a happy hour in which on Wednesdays, in fact, I might go today, they sell ozone therapy. And there's a lot of different ozone therapies. You can do it for your lungs, you can do it for your gut, a lot of things. They have a vaginal ozone therapy. And the idea behind it is it's supposed to be antibacterial and antifungal, I believe. And I should probably have notes on this, but I don't. You basically, they give you a big syringe, say like almost the size of my forearm, I would say. And it is with an extra oxygen molecule. Is that accurate, Jenna? You know, I'm
yeah.
not, this isn't where I thrive. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. This nurse comes out with a syringe the size of my forearm, and it's pretty like thick. Like it's a big guy with a tube attached to it, and then some like what looks to be like lubricant on the end. So I go to the bathroom, stick the tube up my hoo-ha, and then you slowly disperse the air in for a minute to a minute.
I have no words. I really don't.
It was at that moment in the bathroom and Alive and Well where I was like, I am down so bad. It felt a little bizarre after, and then any trickling feelings of anything were gone for a few days. And there are different levels of ozone therapy. They gave me basically the least strong, the weakest level, just to make sure that my body had a positive reaction to it. So when I go back, hopefully today, work allowing, I'm going to say, dial that sucker up, baby.
It's
And
happy hour, baby.
now I have done preliminary research, meaning I searched it in Google. I found a few different doctors across the country who say that this can really help. And I said, that is good enough for me. So this is not medical advice. I don't even really know. This could be a waste of my money, but I want to try everything. And so here's my thought process to wrap this all up. Every time I take medication, it kills the bad bacteria, but it also kills good bacteria. And I
Mhm.
want to give the good bacteria the longest time to thrive before, even if I have to go back on medication. And so I'm thinking to myself, if the ozone therapy can hold off the active infections enough for the good bacteria to really grow, then could I tip the scale in letting my good bacteria actually fight the bad bacteria? Who knows? But I have my next Evie test and I'm waiting. I'm going to wait for like another month and I'm going to try to do ozone therapy 1 to 2 times a week and see if that can help. I've gone off the rails. Like I'm creating a science experience experiment on myself. But if you have BV and chronic yeast infections, you know, like that, I'm so willing to do that. The last thing I'll say is one thing that I've really noticed as I've reflected back on for a while is I think that having, and I've probably said it on the podcast before, but I think having these issues has really affected the way that I feel about myself as far as like sexiness goes, attractiveness goes, because like when you have issues going on down there, you just don't feel hot. And then one of the co-founders of Evie, I saw her TikTok. They just came out with a study, not Evie, like I don't actually know who came out with the study, but they've
Mhm.
basically finally proven that BV can actually be transferred from men, like men can give it to women. And I just want to say it makes so perfect sense that something this awful came from men
Comes from men. Yeah,
or like,
completely
or
agree.
is like impacted by men. And I
Yeah.
feel more at peace now that I know that. So.
Good. I'm glad. And of course it is. Like, come on.
Right.
Ugh.
And but one thing I will say though is like we have to, and I'm so passionate about this, find a way to speed up the process in which we're finding this type of information out because if the ozone therapy works for me, it's not like I can go and just be like ozone therapy because like we don't know. Like we need doctors to be able to have the funds to do the studies to figure out how to not have this happen at such like a chronic scale. Do you get
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
you're living in La La Land and
Okay. Oh.
I know it sucks. It sucks. I mean, our we just interviewed and next week's episode will be Dr. Tim Spector and
Mhm.
he first of all that it's all about the gut microbiome and honestly it's a really quick, easy, digestible episode. Like he was like, we're like, Jill, speak or Dr. Spector, speak to everyone like they're Jill, which the majority of you guys are. Like Jill, we're just like trying to figure things out. You don't really understand a lot of the behind the scenes stuff or the deeper stuff. And he did, and it's amazing. But he's one of the top 100 most cited scientists in the world. And I think he would tell you and me and us that getting this stuff and like even getting one study done, he's well known for this study called the twin study, is just so much time and effort and resources. And it's not easy to come to conclusions. And that is why I think one, you have to be your own health advocate. Like you are trying to dig deep and find this stuff out and you're asking questions. You're like, why is this happening? What's at the root? Why do I keep experiencing this? Why is conventional approaches maybe not helping me or they are in tandem with other approaches? And it's like, you kind of have to like do it yourself. And I think that's been a large theme about what you and I have done throughout our lives. And I think a lot of people, a lot of you guys listening to this, like can maybe resonate is that some of this stuff you just have to like take yourself and say, I'm going to go figure it out for myself by listening to podcasts or doing X, Y, and Z things. And that doesn't mean not work with someone, like work with a practitioner, work with a doctor, because you have been, you've worked with
Mhm.
Evie, you've worked with your gynecologist, but it's also like maybe take some matters into your own hands and kind of figure out what works for you and what doesn't.
Well, you know what's interesting? And I sent this to you on Instagram yesterday. There is an influencer in Austin named TT, Tiana Robillard or something like that. And she posted on her Instagram stories like 2 days ago, she went to the gynecologist for her yearly checkup. and the gyno was like, "Oh, you need to go on a uh pre not preconception, prenatal vitamin, even though you don't want to conceive because you need folic acid." Well, if you listen to our episode with Dr. Ben Lynch or you follow Dr. Ben Lynch, you know that he absolutely hates folic acid because it's the made up fake version of folate. Like you should be taking folate, not folic acid. And it was one of those moments, and this is again, no judgment to TT, do your thing, listen to your doctor, whatever. But it was one of those things where it's like, if you don't dive in and be your own health advocate and like look into things, then now she's on a prenatal. And like if
Yeah.
you listen to Dr. Ben Lynch, like he has a lot of things to say about folic acid. And so it was like one of those moments where I was sitting there and I was like, not question everything, but just like don't sit in the back seat or even the passenger seat when dealing with your health. Like ask questions, double check, get two opinions. Just always make sure that you're advocating for your own health.
And what Dr. Tim Spector said that you guys will hear next week is that doctors and every person in the profession of health, whether you're a scientist, immunologist, doctor, gynecologist, whatnot, they're all taught by academia certain ways to approach things and certain things. They are not taught everything. Just like he said, gynecologists are not taught nutrition. Like
Mhm.
that's where you have to make that connection and take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, they are experts in their specific field and what they were specifically taught. And
Mhm.
unless they're in my certified nutritional practitioner program that I'm in right now, learning the various modalities to functional testing and health and nutrition and how our body works, they are not getting this functional approach that we so desperately need in modern day healthcare.
And they can get the
And
functional approach other places than your program. You're just saying doing the active
I'm
current
saying
research.
exactly if they are not like if they're not because plenty of doctors and nat and nurse practitioners and um dietitians have joined either nutritional therapy that I was in, restorative wellness, or now certified nutrition practitioner, which is my three functional health certifications, because they did not get enough of the functional health stuff in their 4 additional plus years of med school. And I'm saying that because it's just like kind of the theme. Like doctors and anyone can go so far, but
Mhm.
it's up to you to also do a little bit of digging if you have chronic or persistent issues. Because I believe like 99%, obviously, there are certain genetic cases and things like that that cannot be cured. But I
Mhm.
believe like these not basic, but like root things can all be addressed with the right practices and treatments.
Well, it's interesting. I haven't listened to that episode yet because I'm still coming out of my era in which I'm overly concerned for my health. But
Hmm.
once I feel like I'm out of it. I just like no need to trigger myself so quickly. Uh, the him and her show, Skinny Confidential, they recently brought on Brigham Bueller, and it's the titles on the chronic disease epidemic and how insurance and big pharma are failing America. And Michael's actually been really outspoken about this, I would say, at least in the past year, if not longer, where he's like, the healthcare system is working exactly the way it's supposed to. And I mean, I'm sure they're losing a lot of followers and gaining, but they're really being outspoken on the way that the health care system is broken. Anyway, this guy has is the founder of Ways to Well, and I've been slightly following him over the past few years, and it's just cool because it's like they work on preventative care, but they're trying to be cutting edge on the way that they treat people. And anyway, I just he really dives into it. I didn't mean to make this a whole
Well, no,
rant, but
I
what?
just the the reason why they're having problems is because they're making it political or people make it political.
Well,
So
I don't
like,
think they made it political. I think it's just it has become political in the past few years. Health
yeah.
has become political. And I guess maybe it always has been because of like the whole healthcare, universal healthcare situation. But I don't want to touch that. So let's run
Yeah.
away and talk about how
Well,
instead,
speaking of them, we need to
what?
talk about how Lauren Bostic came out with toilet paper. No, no sigh. No sigh. I think it's genius. I think it's
Okay, how about
absolutely
this? You
genius.
you give your opinion and then I'll give mine.
Okay. One, I think it's genius. I think, yes, I think a lot of things that we use in our daily life are hurting our health. But there's a level to that, right? There's a toxin bucket, there's a bucket. And a lot of people's are overfilled, but a lot of people's aren't overfilled. And, I'm going to continue to use regular toilet paper because mama can't afford the luxury toilet paper, non-toxic toilet paper right now. But she is on a mission to make the normal everyday products better for you and more luxurious and fun and cute. And toilet paper is one of those things that unfortunately does, like your good old Charmin that's on my toilet paper holder right now, that does contain dyes and chemicals to make it look like a perfect piece of paper. And it is touching our hoo-has. And I don't know the studies, so I'm not gonna say anything, but it potentially could link to other things. Let's just say that. And so for her to come out with a non-toxic toilet papers claiming that, it's gonna be better for her and her family and the health of everyone else, like, yeah, is it expensive? Is it 100% needed? No. But if you can afford it and you're, changing to more non-toxic lifestyle, toilet paper is one of those things that you could inevitably change. That's my thoughts. I say she's genius. She's getting people to talk about it. It was on April Fool's, which is actually comical because it wasn't an April Fool's joke, which I feel like maybe now was the marketing purpose of all of that. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
Well, I first want to shout out our girl, Jade, because Jade has been on a mission to
Yeah.
really attack, to really
Mm.
to really go up in battle against those who are overly non-toxic, fear-mongering. And when I saw the toilet paper roll out, no pun intended,
Unintended.
I was like, "Ooh, Jade is pissed right now."
Hmm.
Now that I've done that, I just think it's absurd. And here's why. She has been called out on the internet for the past few years for being out of touch. And I get it. You're a multi millionaire. You can afford to have the fanciest toilet paper. At the end of the day, you are selling a product that is premium, that is expensive, that is touching our buttholes.
And
It's
who has?
insane. And yeah, but that's like, you want me to pay extra to wipe shit off my ass? Like, that's insane.
I didn't like that at
Also,
all.
well, sorry, it's true. Also, what I'd like to say is if you are trying to improve your health, the way that you have to improve so many things before you should be concerned about your toilet paper, I would be willing to bet that 99.5% of our country has things to do that are less expensive, that are more bang for your buck than buying premium toilet paper. And I think that it's just such an out of touch product. I'm so intrigued to see how it sells because I'm sorry, Costco toilet paper is where I'll be going until you can tell me that it is destroying my health. And then just one last thing. Of all the products that you can make that can make you a lot of money, you can't tell me that toilet paper is where you're going to make your big bucks. So like what's the I think I know you think it's genius and quite frankly I love that we have different opinions on
Yeah.
this. But like the ice roller, I have it. I like it. But then she did the like one that's for lymphatic drainage and pretty much everyone who like is educated on the lymph has said BS. And
Hmm.
then she's done like the healthy water, right? Is that what she did next?
She did minerals. Yeah.
I guess my point is like, I feel like her first product was amazing. I love that ice roller. I genuinely do feel like it's better. And I feel like every product she's done since then has been slightly less interesting. Like, I don't need two types of ice rollers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, it just pissed me off because I'm like, it's just another girl who's had tons of procedures, who has access to things that almost no one has. She looks completely different. And yes, she has lost a lot of weight and she's super healthy, but she's done things. Her face looks completely different. You can't tell me that there hasn't been procedures done. And so it's another one of those things where I'm just like, it's another girl that just feels so out of touch with everyone else. And you're going to scare people into thinking that they need to wipe their butts with premium toilet
She's
paper.
not the first person to come out. Like, there's a company that actually has sold us bamboo toilet paper. Her product's
Yes,
100% bamboo. So it's
but
not
the
a dumb product
no,
whatsoever.
the difference is it's the scare tactics behind it. It's the marketing behind it. And
Yeah,
it's the way that it's like marketed like you're I don't know. I just luxury toilet paper is the way it came off to me
I
and
was
I
gonna see
just
if it was
feel
sold
like it's
out
absurd.
and it's not. But
Well, of course not.
well, no.
We're staying on Instacart and we're ordering Costco
The
toilet
other
paper in
thing that
bulk.
she's done genius is the mouth tape and her and all of that. I mean, I am a fan of
Yes,
mouth
that's a
tape
good
for the
point.
right people, but she was a large pioneer. Let me just say that I was doing it before her.
But what
Just
did she
saying.
do? She just made a more expensive mouth tape that was pink and pretty. Great.
Yeah,
Love
and she
that.
said it chisels your jaw.
But
I know, I know. It's hard. It's like kind of like what Jade's saying, and Jade is Jade Brandt. You guys might know her on TikTok. She lives in Austin. We love her. She's just saying like you every swap you make these days that's not more less non-toxic is just a more expensive and healthier, typically, don't get me wrong, version, and it becomes very like there's only a small pop like I can't do it all. I can't afford it all. You know, there's a very small population that can all make these changes that much. And so I would just say go slowly if you want to make changes. That's kind of what I'm doing, but also like focus on the things that need to be focused on. And that kind of gives me the transition into how Jill and I
wait,
guess,
before you transition, is do you know how much it costs, the toilet paper?
I
I'm
think
on it
it's
right now.
$33. I was just on it.
For 12. And
Yeah, but
and
compare the
actually,
price. Charmin ain't that much more cheap.
hold on. I'm on my
Yeah.
Instacart. Let's see how much I paid for my because I actually, Jen, I do think it is. You said $33 for 12. Are all
Yeah.
of my are it didn't my electronics just decide to quit on me today? And it was $22 for 30 rolls.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you and I are not fast math in your head girls, but let me tell you, 30 for 22 over $33 for 12 is a pretty
Yeah, that's a change.
massive
Say that.
difference.
The transition that I wanted to say is the things that you can start doing that are like more realistic. And
Oh,
that is, I made a whole episode last week about metabolic health and how to start eating for your metabolic health. And I've kind of gone on this whole journey of starting to talk more about how focusing on your metabolism can be such a game changer for your health, right? Because I see so many women these days, myself included, for a very long time, who didn't realize this, but my blood sugar levels were off. My thyroid wasn't in the best place possible. My digestion wasn't amazing. My energy levels were plummeted. I was constipated. And it wasn't until I really started eating the right way and eating better that I've really improved my health and how I feel while also using Charmin. Go listen to that episode if you haven't. But I really do feel like with that combined with getting back in the gym, I've now been back in the gym for 3 months. I just posted a little quick side by side booty transformation because I have been growing the dump. And that has really, really even leveled up my health even more. And not only that, but like my mental health and my confidence has really skyrocketed. And I think you guys feel it because we've gotten the most like comments, you're glowing, you look so happy, you look healthy than we ever have. And I think that's truly because Jill and I are really have really honed in on our practices and our routines. And I don't know, I think partly the reason I didn't want to like coach you guys on this or tell you what exactly I do because we've been doing this in other podcast episodes and on social media, but I just feel like this sense and happiness level that I've experienced because I'm getting stronger and because I'm fueling my body properly has been this journey that I've just been reflecting on. Because what I would like to say is for multiple, I would say about 2 years, I was really not happy. And this isn't like a happiness episode or talking about that, but I just have been reflecting. And I've been going on walks with Duke and I've been sitting in the grass and we've been grounding. And I just keep thinking to myself how down in the dumps I was, partly because I wasn't taking care of myself in the way that I knew I should for so long, and how I got to this level of depression and anxiety that I truly will literally never let myself fall into again because I wasn't taking care of myself. Like the entire time we lived on in our East Side house, which was 11 months, I barely went to the gym. Barely.
Mm.
I would do classes here and there, or I would just walk. And I think it was such a detriment to how I felt as in health wise, but also like my confidence as a person. And I felt like a little bit of a fraud for so long because here I am talking about health on the internet and like honestly, kind of ironic that we did not have like a good growth year on social media, honestly, because I don't feel like I was
Walking the walk.
walking the walk. And
Mm.
I really think it kind of destroyed me in certain ways. And so now that I've been able to really, really pick myself up and like stay disciplined, and you guys know I always have to make this disclaimer that I'm not like crazy strict. I really feel like it has, not to be dramatic, but has changed my life and how I feel about myself and how I operate and my confidence in general. And yeah, I just wanted to say that because it's just been a large reflection that I've had on my mind and while I've been walking.
No, I love that. And I think, I mean, I was looking back at my journal and reading old posts, and I feel like I definitely like wasn't down in the dumps for 2 years. I was just like on this like very quick roller coasters of ups and downs, and I let my external environments really impact me. And I've been really working recently on like making sure that my happiness comes from myself, especially like post breakup. I think it's been really hard for me when I always had someone to share good news with, share struggles with, have someone who's constantly cheering for me because he like really was. And it's been such a crazy thing to I learned to need someone else to cheer for me because he was so good at it and he was always cheering for me that something good would happen. I tell him, he cheers, and it like created this like feedback loop in my brain. And I didn't, and like it was great. But now that that's not there, something good happens, and I'm like, okay. And but like I wouldn't cheer for myself.
Hmm.
So kind of going off of what you're saying, I've been calling it like my happiness project of like little things that make me happy. And so like when I do something good, like especially at work, like I've taken on a really big role and I'm doing a lot of things. Like if someone texted me and was like, "Oh, I just like crushed this meeting and had like really great ideas," how would you respond? Like, "Let's go." Like,
Hmm.
amazing, congrats. And so I like literally tell myself that now, like pump myself up, and it feels so good. And then I was like, okay, well, like what else did I like about relationship? And it's like those little like fun things that you do that like you look forward to, right? And so I was like, okay, what if I just started like implementing them myself? So today is Wednesday, and I implemented my first ever Muffin Wednesday.
Woo woo!
Jenna, are you wondering what Muffin Wednesday
What
is?
is Muffin Wednesday, Jill?
Thank you. It's when, because Wednesdays I don't lift in the morning. And so instead, I walk to this coffee shop that we love. Actually, if you're in Austin, Merritt has the best gluten-free muffins I've ever had in my life, other than Maha, but they don't exist right now. So,
Sad.
second place, I guess. So I just go and I get a muffin. It's blueberry lemon, which I would never go for, but it's phenomenal. Like it is, you wouldn't know it's gluten free. So I get that. And that's my little like Wednesday morning look forward to thing. I would put a little cute outfit on. I did my makeup, and then
She did.
I just like waltzed over there and got my
Yeah.
muffin. These
Not a
and
waltz.
well, I was thinking about the word like saunter or something, and
No,
then I was
you
like,
waltzed. Hey, I love it.
anyway, it's all to say that like you have to take control of your own happiness. And I think for years, for multiple reasons, you and I did not. And we're
Yeah.
doing it in our own ways now. Like for you, I feel like a lot of your happiness right now is stemming from you growing a booty. And boy, do I hear about it. That, for
Hmm.
whatever reason, I think it's because I've always had one, that
No,
it doesn't
literally,
really.
Jill and I are so well, I'll speak for myself. Oh, because you've always had one. Yeah, that is very true. But Jill and I, let's just tell them real quick at the gym that we go to on Monday. Jill went with me, which is rare because she doesn't go like in the afternoons like I do. And there were like multiple hot men, like multiple. Like Jill and I were texting each other, like, holy shit, it's Daddy Central in here. And I literally went so hard on my workout. I am so sore. Still, like, my ass is literally still on fire because I went really hard because there were hot men there. And that maybe that's fulfilling me. I don't know.
No,
But
but
it
we
helps
were
me grow.
talking
It's
about
helping my
it,
booty growth. So I don't
but
care.
we were saying, I think when we were leaving the gym, how like this guy was like eyeing you, and you were kind of like eyeing him back, and like
Yeah.
you guys, I'm a level of oblivious that like that would just never happen to me.
Yes.
Like when
Jill
I'm in the
literally,
gym,
so true.
like if you are a man subtly hitting on me, it won't
No
happen.
idea.
I have no clue. Like if a guy was like flirting with me, unless it's super obvious, I just genuinely think you're being nice. Like I can't pick up clues like that to save my life. So Jenna's in the gym, like putting on extra weight to impress the man lifting next to her. Jenna's like eyeing this other guy back and forth. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, I'm on set 2, rep 3, push harder, Joe. Like I'm literally like so in my own
In
head.
your
And
zone. I'm like, hee
I
hee
have
hee.
no,
Cute.
right. I literally have no idea what's going on. And it was just so funny because Jen and I are in the same exact gym having wildly different experiences. And by the way, like, especially that day at the gym, like, we look the exact same. Like,
Oh
we
my
were
God,
literally
yeah.
like two versions of one person. And so it's just so funny because, like, there's one girl that's like flirting around the room with her eyes, like, showing off, like, a girl version of peacocking almost. And then there's the other one. I'm like, I would might as well have been the only person in the gym.
But here's my thing is that I think those men, like, I think they would assume that I'm in a zone because I'm not like looking
No,
up and being like
no, I
talking to me.
know.
I'm
Yeah.
pretending that I'm in a zone, but I'm like, I wouldn't mind. I know girls hate getting approached in the gym, and maybe with the wrong man, sure, it's kind of creepy. The right man, I don't mind meeting my man in a gym. Are you kidding me?
I do. Don't come
Like,
up to me at the gym.
no, because this is what I think.
Hmm.
If you are a man in the gym, and so am I, you like to work out, take care of your body. You obviously live in Austin because that's where we're at the same gym.
Hmm.
Yeah, that and you know what, right there, I'm not gonna expand because I don't know what else anything else about you besides you're cute. And listen, like obviously we have something in common. And I'm not, you guys know, like I'm not like a gym bro girl, but I'm in my gym era and I like to take care of my body. And so does he. And maybe it would never work out, but maybe it could. You never know.
Hmm.
So the jury's still out if I meet my man at the gym.
So hot men in Austin approach Jenna and leave me alone. Find
Exactly.
another way.
And
I do not
and
want
then
you
you
coming
can
up.
meet your man through my man.
Great. Perfect.
Perfect plan. Okay, Jill's happiness project. We're both on our happiness projects. I, I hope you guys can feel it. Like Jill, we've both been through breakups. I'm about 10 or 11 months out of mine. Jill's relatively new. So I think like being able to, we've talked about this, like being able to pick ourselves back up and really take care of ourselves by ourselves has been huge. I know a lot of you resonate with that. A lot of you resonated with the episode that we did a couple weeks back of each other talking about it. And then the last thing Jill wanted to talk about was not to bring them up again, but to bring them up again. Bloom creatine
I
slash their
just
other ad.
I just feel like there's no one in the health space that reports on like the social media of it all, right? The
Yeah,
like
true.
the hot topics or the gossip within the health world. And we are not a gossip podcast, but you know what? They have us blocked. And like, quite frankly, I don't feel bad about this because their ad that they posted around Bloom creatine is it's such a, it's, what did I say before that they were deceitful? Like, it's very, tricky marketing. And what do I hate more than tricky marketing? Literally nothing, except for maybe men coming up to me at the gym. Like the way the way that they made a complete and utter lie. What they basically said was like they compared male creatine to
I pulled
female
it up.
creatine. Okay, read it for us, Jenna.
Well, they said creatine that's for the girls, the Bloom way and the Bro way. And basically saying like for the Bloom way, it's 5 grams a daily dose, lean tone results, no bulk or bloat, raspberry and unflavored options. And then the Bro way is 20 grams a daily dose, no. Big bulky results, puffiness and swelling, chalky taste. What? Like creatine is creatine is creatine. Like I don't know how they're allowed to do this because they're lying. They're saying if you take creatine the bro way, you'll get big bulky results, but if you take it the bloom way, you'll get lean toned results. Guys, all creatine are made the same. It's literally
Aren't
called creatine monohydrate. There's no special formulation that could
there
be
are
the
two
girl way
types
versus the guy way.
there are two types of creatine, but when comparing creatine monohydrate to creatine monohydrate, there
Right.
it's just all the same.
Right.
Another thing about that is I feel like the health industry for so long has been trying to tell people that it is a myth that creatine is going to just massively bloat you. And so it's
Right.
like, why would you do that? Another thing too, chalky taste. Like, what are we in 2010? There are so
Right.
many brands that have incredible creatine. Like, we use Promix. I'll put
Promix, but
Promix.
it's just one ingredient. It dissolves in water.
And it truly dissolves. There is no chalky taste. And so it's one of those things where it's like just bloom at it again. It's the way that they did the gut health drink. It's the way they do everything. And I just want to say they have artificial sweeteners in the majority of their products. And when Dr. Tim Spector comes on our podcast next week, he talks about those impacts, the impacts of artificial sweeteners to the gut. And I just want to say, Bloom,
We've been
you're
saying
not
it for
cutting it.
years. The last thing that they did too is that they made another ad. And by the way, our friend who's a fellow practitioner tagged us in this. I didn't find this myself. Defy Ozempic face using their colostrum. Dropping pounds doesn't have to mean sagging skin. Lock in a youthful looking complexion with Bloom colostrum and collagen. It's rich in bioactive peptides and growth factors that help yada yada yada. They're preying on women. Like, does no one see how horrible this is and how deceptive it is? Like, I just can't believe they're getting away with this. I think that's the hardest thing is like, I was telling someone about like all the shitty shit stuff they've done, and basically he agreed with me, but he came back and he was like, but you have to admit that their female founder is like, amazing and like a badass and what she's built so far. I'm not taking that away from her, but she's not running the company and it shows because only men would make marketing things like that. Come
Well,
on, let's be real.
in today's world, we've forgotten that multiple things can be true at one time. She
Yeah.
can run a successful business in which makes her millions and millions of dollars and simultaneously lie and prey on the weakness of women when it comes to things like a bloated face or a bloated belly or their
Yep.
fear towards it. You can do both things at once. But here's the thing. If you feel good about making millions and millions of dollars off of products that have artificial bullshit that impact people's health, and you feel good about tricking people into buying your products off of completely factless, baseless claims, then good for you. But I don't consider that a badass. And I think one thing that we've tried to do is like, oh, but support women and she can be nice. It's like, no, F you. Like whoever created like tummy tea, right? Like
F
de-bloat
you.
tea. F you, like you're a scam. Like you just made
Yeah.
everyone shit your pants. Like, I'm sorry. Like I no longer am going to do the caveat of like, I'm sure she's great, but her brand is just doesn't align with me. No, like you are your brand and you are held accountable no matter who's running the company, no matter who's running the marketing.
True.
Like, look at Element. When Element's founder or whoever it was made those claims that were slightly inaccurate, the health world went after them for lying, for not being truthful, right? Because we hold health brands to such a high standard. Bloom should be held to the same.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry,
we are.
Molly.
We're trying. Health Valley's
Right.
trying. Grace is trying. People are trying, but voices aren't loud enough and their marketing schemes run deep and they have a lot of money and they'll continue to do what they do and be shitty. So
Yeah.
there's that. Anyway,
I'm so
rant
angry.
over. I know it's
Mm.
annoying, but also like let them live in
Time to
their
move on.
issues and karma. So
All I have to say is if we ever create a product of some sort and we fall into like lying about
call
it
us the F out. Call us
or
the F out. Because
right,
that means we've lost ourselves in the money.
it's like
We
protect your
won't
face
though.
from skin cancer by wearing our hats. It's like,
Right?
well,
Yeah, this
like
hat is going to get you all the men. I can guarantee it.
this hat is going to make
Got me
your
the man
hair
at the coffee
grow.
shop.
Just
Oh
kidding. Our,
God.
our our hat will literally only provide joy and anything
Joy
else
and
that you
happiness and a cute outfit and a cute
and a cute
accessory.
outfit.
We can
Right.
claim that, can't we, Queen?
Speaking of cute, if you are on video watching on YouTube, Duke has been
I
such a peaceful
know.
angel, and I feel like we shit on him so much because he tends to be like a menace during our
Menace.
episodes. But I just want to say that he has been an absolute king, and it's got to be the haircut.
Dookie. Duke.
He can't hear you. I have
Oh,
AirPods
that's
in.
right. Duh, idiot. And on that note, next week, as we said, Dr. Tim Spector talking about the gut microbiome, guests that we're lining up, that we're continuing. He
Can I just say
does,
one thing? Sorry. He talks about the gut microbiome, but I know we've talked about that a lot. He shares a lot of new information
yeah, that
and
hasn't been talked about on this episode, on this podcast.
he calls out some things that I think a lot of us, including myself, are doing that we need to make adjustments to in the way that we eat for our gut health. So don't be like, oh, another gut microbiome episode. Like Dr. Tim Spector is worth the listen. I just want to throw that out
And
there.
honestly, we haven't talked about that much about the gut microbiome as of lately, too, in our
Yeah,
new
because you're on
era
your
of life and
metabolic.
health. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Because Jenna's like really in her metabolic health era. It's like Gut Talk Girls becomes like the
Metabolic
Met Talk
girls, med
metabolic
talk,
girls. Like
med
it
talk.
just doesn't. Thank goodness you became obsessed with gut health
Well,
first because it wouldn't have worked out for us.
I mean, gut health and metabolic health are together. Like, I'm not like not doing gut health stuff because I'm on my metabolic health journey.
No, of course. Right.
You know what I mean?
No one,
So, just to
and quite
make things
frankly,
clear,
yeah, and also like they really coincide with each other. Like
that's
they're
what I'm
all in the
saying.
same ecosystem. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, sister.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
well,
double
we love you
checking.
guys. Thank you for listening. If you like this episode, as always, please, and to get your giveaway, rate and review. We'll keep track of all of those. We'll keep you updated on the hats, and we'll see you next week. All right, love ya. Bye.
Bye.